How's it going, guys? Tyler from Minturn Anglers here. We're gonna go ahead and come at you with another tying video to help you guys with your cabin fever while we're all trying to stay away from each other. Now, in keeping with the theme of the last video, we're gonna tie my second favorite carp fly. This is Simms Thunderball. Super effective on both the the rivers like the South Platte that I'm fishing here in and around Denver, as well as fishing at Stillwater. I do real well, Chatfield, Cherry Creek, that kind of stuff. Another one that's just wicked easy to see, which makes it just great for sight fishing. But we'll go ahead and get started. Let's throw some thread on here. You guys will notice same hook that we tied that hybrid worm on. I love this $24.99 for our carp flies. Big gap, short shank, sharp hook. You guys can see there the SP in SPBL stands for spear point, I want to say. Yeah, spear point. So wicked hook. Definitely not one you want to wear in the thumb or the back of the neck. So we're going to start this fly similar to our hybrid. If you guys haven't seen that video, I'm sorry, I keep referencing it. Go check it out though. Best carp fly around, hybrid worm. But we're gonna start these eyes with a little bit of space, leaving ourselves a little bit of room right here behind the eye of the hook. We need to do a little bit of work there when all is said and done. So leave ourselves some space. This hook that we're using here is a number 8. I do same sizes as with just about any of the carp flies. I like to have a range of 6 and 8 being the larger side, and as small as maybe a 12 every now and then. So once we've got those eyes locked down there, get some helicopter wraps just to secure them, and we can go ahead and advance our thread rearward. And we'll just come to about where that hook starts to bend. Want to leave plenty of open shank there. So our next step here is going to be to come in with a rust-colored pine squirrel strip, and I've done a little bit of prep work behind the scenes. I went ahead and glued a piece of 2mm red foam to the end of this pine squirrel strip, and what that's going to do when we're fishing this fly, this fly is going to point up like that, and once we've got our tail with the foam on it there, ideally that's hard to see in frame, but ideally we're kind of with that profile. Easier to see when all is said and done. But I do think that having that foam is a pretty crucial step to and doesn't take very long. Typically when I'm going to tie a bunch of these, I'll kind of pre-cut these pine squirrel strips and glue a bunch of them, glue a bunch of tails up. So we'll go ahead and tag down that pine squirrel strip, and we can go ahead and kind of fill that gap in with some thread so we've got a nice smooth even body. I don't think that's super essential with carp flies. These fish don't have the greatest sight by any means, but more for the tire than the fish. And once we've got that bump kind of covered up, we'll bring our thread back to the rear of the fly and come in with some ultra chenille in red, and this time we're going to use a micro. I do tie this fly in a couple colors, red being this combination being my most successful. I tie it also in kind of a burnt orange body and this same color pine squirrel strip for the tail. So we'll go ahead and tag in a nice long piece of this micro chenille, and I say long, I'd rather have too much than not enough when we get to the head of this fly. We're going to be using this pretty much to finish the fly here, so we'll take nice touching wraps up the body as we're just filling some space in. And then once we get up to the eyes, we're going to just figure eight those the same way we did with our thread, and build a nice ball-shaped head here. I'm running a little thin. Even with the nice long piece I gave myself, I'm just about out of chenille here. That's all we're left with there as waste. But you'll see I've kind of built up a nice round ball-shaped head there. And then we'll come in with our scissors. Actually, we're going to come in with our beautiful arrow point scissors and cut this nice and close. You might need to take a few thread wraps just to kind of back that chenille off of the eye. And that's about it. Super simple, as with a lot of these carp flies. So we'll go ahead and throw a couple of nice whip finishes in. Always do two. I say it over and over, but that one didn't look good. I say it over and over, but I'm not big on head cement. I'll use UV every now and then, but for the most part, I think just sneaking that second whip finish in there will add to the durability of your flies quite a bit. So we'll come in, clip that out, and that's about all she wrote. So we can see now we've got our foam right here, so that when this fly is riding in the river, ideally we're looking for that foam to be kind of hanging the tail upwards. Like, super easy fly to see as we're sight fishing. Not a not a hard one to pick up as you're drifting it, whether that be in the river or in still water. Nice big bushy profile, easy for those fish to pick up as well. But that's the Simms Thunderball last step, which I think is semi optional, but I tend to take it. Again, probably more for the fishermen than the fish. Is we'll go ahead with a nice little brown marker here, and I'm just going to mark the underside of that body up. Kind of give it a nice little stripe. And that's the Simms Thunderball. If you guys need the materials for this fly or any fly, give us a call here at the Minturn Anglers Lone Tree Shop. As we're all trying to stay away from people, we are doing free delivery on any orders over $20. We're doing curbside pickup for those of you guys that live here in the neighborhood. But stay healthy, stay safe, keep washing those hands, and get out and do some fishing. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe. Take care.